Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Ann Parisi. This is our Goodbye 2012 and Forward to 2013 edition of Champion News Talk Radio. Our founder, Jack Roser, and myself have our very special guest, John Kirkwood. And I did not mention this, John, during the show, but you won one of our Grassroots Leader Champion Award. And that is why you were at the One Night Only event that was sponsored by Champion News back before the election. But, you know, we've had this horrible year of violence this year. You had the shooting with the theater because of the Batman thing, and the mall shooting, and recently, a couple weeks ago, those babies that were murdered by a very, very disturbed young man. Guns are the problem, are they not?
They're being made to be the problem. You
How
brought
could
up.
you say that?
Well, I'm just giving a point. I don't believe that. I believe in packing. I believe in.
I'm glad you brought up the theater. I'm glad you brought up the theater, and I'll tell you why. Because the Batman shooting, that the man who perpetrated that passed 6 other theaters.
Because?
To get to that theater before he went in and shot it up, because those other 6 theaters allowed the citizens to carry weapons, and this one had marked signs outside of it, no concealed carry.
Because they have concealed carry in Colorado.
Now, this just happened in Texas a few days ago. An off-duty police woman was off duty there. A man came running into the lobby, shot somebody else, and she shot him with 1 bullet right to the chest. He didn't die, but she stopped him from who knows doing what. And now, how much reporting is going on about that?
It's not convenient for the agenda.
You know,
it's not convenient for the judge.
Only at the moment, the brave woman.
Yes.
Had a gun. She exposed herself to this guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Boy, that's high noon.
Well, and not only that, but how many people have heard of the second Fort Hood shooting?
Yeah.
Just a couple days ago, there was a soldier again at Fort Hood who was in his car, and as the MPs approached him, he opened fire on them. They returned fire and killed the man, and now that's being investigated. But that didn't make the news.
Of course,
why
it's because it's inconvenient.
There's some deep things in this.
Yeah.
Obama and the press are trying to blame it on firearms.
Yeah.
But as horrible as that recent killing of all those children was, that doesn't get the medal for the most killed in a school. And the one that gets the medal for the most killed was not from firearms.
What was it from?
Well, it was a custodian of the school, and he took his own sweet time and he mined it. And he set off about half the charges with the children in there.
Stick of dynamite.
And when the rescuers came, he set off the rest of the charges.
Yeah.
Just lucky there was one 500-pound bomb that didn't go off. But it was
Where was
big,
this? When was this?
1929, was that?
Oh.
something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
1929.
But it wasn't firearms, and it was in a public school. So what's really happening here is attributable to something, because we're down to, it happens in public schools and usually where there's children around. So these cowards are going in and doing something. What motivated them to do that? It isn't the fact of a gun in their hand, it's the feelings that were in them, that they had that resentment that was personified in that school. Where does resentment, let me just build on that. I mean, I've attended a lot of schools. I attended 3 grade schools in Chicago and 1 high school in Chicago, and then 2 other high schools in different. I mean, I've gone through 6 schools in 3 different towns. Somebody asked, how come you move so much? And my sister said, well, we moved to a different apartment every time the walls needed painting. Not exactly true, but my dad was trying to start a business. And but I went to all these different schools, so I got quite a bit of experience of it. And I know what it is to get beat up after school by the school bully. I know what it is to get rejected and praised. The whole damn thing happened in many different kinds of schools. So what happened in that school that motivated that guy that school or others, where he felt that society was against him and was all rotten. He couldn't accept himself as being off track, but this resentment. In those schools, why did they tolerate the attitude that led to the hatred of that particular institution? Why did they tolerate that?
Because we're supposed to teach
yeah.
tolerance.
What happens is our schools today, I'm for sure, at least as far as Chicago goes, they've given up teaching morality. If there's any morality taught there, it's because of individual teachers, not the system that's stunk up by the teachers union, because they have taken morality and religion totally out of the schools. You couldn't have a cross on the wall or anything like that.
Or the Ten Commandments. I think you've hit on something.
It's the morality
you've hit on something deep,
shot.
Jack. When you tell children, when you raise them, and their whole experience in education is that you're just a bag of chemicals. You know, you're not made in the image of God. You're a product of evolution.
Keep going.
And they're going to believe that, and they're going to act just like a higher level of animal.
You know what?
right.
We are going to talk so much more about this when we come back after the break. Stay with us. We're going to talk more about this shooting. Stay with us.